Welcome to Old News. May and Mac face administration review. The Bush administration is starting special reviews of the financial operations of mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The two government-sponsored companies, both of which have been roiled by accounting scandals in recent years, already have been under pressure from lawmakers and regulators who want their combined multi-million-dollar mortgage holdings to be reduced. The administration has long been critical of the two companies, and officials have pointed to the accounting scandals to bolster their case that the massive mortgage portfolios are improperly managed and pose a risk to the financial system. Your tax dollars down the black hole. Not since the end of the Cold War has the Department of Defense spent so much on classified or black programs. It wants $30.1 billion for 2007. Classified programs have less congressional oversight. They've produced some successes like the stealth fighter, but also failures like a canceled Navy attack aircraft. Inflation hits home for lower income groups. Wall Street is worried about inflation. So are other Americans. Americans are increasingly feeling the squeeze of higher prices, not only at the gas pump, but in the cost of groceries and numerous other items. Given inflation remains modest by historical standards at about 3.5%. It appears no threat to return anytime soon to the double-digit rates of the late 1970s and early 80s, perhaps not even to the 5% level last seen in the spring of 1991, but driven by soaring energy prices, inflation is creeping toward 4% for the second quarter and is on pace for the higher annual rate in 15 years. UH has hopes for genetic research. University of Hawaii researchers are hoping to create hardier anthuriums, orchids, and limes through genetic engineering. The new trials on flowers and citrus fruit come despite opposition from local groups to the university's experiments on other plants, including genetic research on coffee and taro, a plant deemed sacred by Hawaiians. Quote, "It's nothing that's indigenous to Hawaii, and excluding limes, they're not food crops," unquote, said Wayne Nishijima, Associate Dean of the university's College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources. Quote, "I think any GM genetic modification research that's happening in Hawaii is of concern just because we don't know the effects of this type of work on soil and insects," unquote, said Sarah Sullivan, director of Hawaii Seed, a group opposed to such research. House panel OK's updated version of line item veto. Congress is moving to give President Bush and his successors greater power to try to weed bills of certain spending. Though the new power would pale compared to the line item veto law struck down by the Supreme Court in 1998. The House Budget Committee on Wednesday approved by a 24-9 vote a bill to allow the president to single out wasteful items contained in appropriations bills he signs into law, and it would require Congress to vote on those items again. Under the proposal, it would take a simple majority in both House and Senate to approve the items over the president's objections.